Warning! The following podcast contains strong language which some listeners may find offensive. If you do,
up yours! That's only if you don't listen to the podcast. Otherwise, not up yours.
did you know the Untitled Wrestling Podcast is on all of the social media outlets? Give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, or even a review if you're feeling generous. Facebook and YouTube at Untitled Wrestling Podcast, Twitter, Twitch and Discord at Untitled Rest Pod.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. It is Tuesday, you know what that means. It is me, your boy Big Tasty, joined as always by Faye, by Jay, and by an oppressive English heatwave. How's it going, everyone?
I'm melting.
This isn't like goth friendly weather, is it? Like this is just
no.
I like the shade and like the night and like, you know, cold.
All right, Batman.
I mean, if it's a consolation, it has just started raining.
Oh, has it? It hasn't here, so it must be on its way up.
Hasn't here.
Yeah, it's pissing down in Wavertree, so
That's just
You can't afford rain here.
your tropical microclimate. Yeah.
Remember that time when it was pissing down in town and it wasn't here,
Yeah,
and everyone
yeah.
everyone fucking shamed me when I said, "Oh, it's not raining here." And everyone berated me on fucking Discord.
Yeah.
You're lucky I didn't spit me dummy and leave.
So yeah, this might be a slightly shorter episode today because we're all fucking melting. We're gonna get through everything though. We'll have fun, and then we're gonna go and line for the fans again until I have to brew beer.
Cold concrete floor.
I have to brew beer tomorrow. I have to stand over 1,000 liters of boiling liquid.
I'm gonna go and hog my works aircon.
If it's any consolation, the aircon in my work's fucked. So.
Oh
yeah.
No.
I've got to go to the office 3 times this week because of fucking
shit.
me having food poisoning last week, so that's fun.
Right, speaking
I'm in the office every day because of the aircon, and purely because
you're just choosing to go in because cold.
Yeah.
So,
That's it. Anyway, to business.
yeah. Well, speaking of, so yeah, Jay, you did have food poisoning last week, which meant you couldn't come to Atomic Wrestling with us on Wednesday.
It's furious.
Yeah, not only did we have delicious Costco pizza, we also then had
And
delicious.
gelato.
And yeah, you had a cherry ripple ice cream, which looked fucking ridiculous. It was so good.
It was £2 for 3 massive scoops.
Nothing in Costco's food court costs money, and so we worked this out. So a drink is £1.20, and a drink with a hot dog is £1.50, and that's just ludicrous.
So a hot dog costs 30 pence.
Yeah, but they make their money from people just buying shit they don't need from walking around. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Costco to get I don't know, I need some fucking seating for the garden, and then you end up leaving with fucking multi-packs of sweets and all kinds. It's like,
yes, I do need 12 pairs of jeans, so let me buy that multi-pack.
Yeah,
I
of
used to do it all the time when I'd go to specifically get one thing. I think one time I went to get what was it? I think it was speakers, or it was something electronic anyway. That's the important part. And I end up leaving with oh fucking hell, that thunder.
I saw the lightning.
Yeah. Yeah, and I end up leaving with tons of food. I got a fucking tray of Danishes because it's a legal requirement of going to Costco.
But then you realise you've got to eat the one 3 days, so it's just
yeah, but it's fine. It just means you're having more coffee breaks during the day, doesn't it?
You just shift a Danish-based diet. It's fine.
Just give yourself diabetes in the space of 3 days. It's fine.
That time I went on a Too Good To Go and got 12 Cinnabon for a fiver, and I was like, "This is the best day of my life." And then 2 days later, having eaten 8 Cinnabon, I was like, "I want to die."
Yeah,
I love how our Atomic Wrestling review is also miniature Costco review.
Yeah.
I love that that's a thing.
I mean, it's one and the same now. We go to Atomic Wrestling, we go to Costco first. It's just the law. So yeah, we'll talk about the show then, real quick. 7 matches on the card, I think it was.
Yeah.
The beer was excellent as well. By the way, beer was lovely as always, and it was. I think it was 120 people there, so it was more than last time, which was awesome. Yeah, it was packed out.
I spoke to quite a few people the week prior about it, and they were like, "Oh God, yeah, definitely goes that." And I was like, "Oh, great." And I see loads of people now, and then I was fucking ill the day of it.
Yeah.
So
Sean and Ryan was Not trying to mind.
I know they were who I fucking spoke to.
Yeah.
And then loads of Future Shock wrestlers were just there, not like to wrestle, just to like watch. We saw Sam Pele and stuff.
Hannah Taylor was there again, which is good to see her.
Oh, she was lovely. I can't wait to see her wrestle again.
Yeah, it's going to be real fun. Right, so yeah, 7 matches. First match, and probably my match of the night, was Scott Oberman versus 2-Bit.
Oh my God.
We booed, but don't worry, Jake, we booed him like gratuitously. It was you'd have been happy, you'd have been proud.
Scott Oberman against this former Northwest Strong team.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I have been waiting for a fucking promotion to pull the trigger on this for ages. Yeah. And Atomic did it.
So we'll tell you about
that Scott just fucked off out of Northwest Strong.
Yeah, well, he did that video, didn't he, last week about him throwing his jacket on the fire.
Yeah.
So this, I mean, once again, so there's a trend starting here where, like, basically you book Scott Oberman in an opening match and he just goes fucking balls out with the way he's wrestling. Because I think
he's definitely got an axe to grind and a point to prove.
This match was fucking excellent, though. It was so good.
He's obscenely talented.
Yeah, he's ridiculous, and he looks in like banging shape as well. He's like really he's packed on a bit of muscle, I think.
I bump into him quite frequently walking back from the gym. So
he's walking back from the gym, not you.
Oh yeah, he's walking back from the gym. I'm usually going to Tesco to buy like some chocolate or something.
I'm just going to like Greg's or something. Yeah, it's like
I'm usually going to buy some sweets or something from the end.
Fair.
That's generally
wave it in his face and then he just murders you.
It's usually that, or I'm on the bus into town for like
to get beer.
Yeah.
Needless to say, your lives have gone in very different directions.
Either way, he's being very healthy, and I'm counteracting that with my unhealthiness.
Equilibrium.
Yes.
But yeah, this match was fantastic. It ended with Oberman tapping out 2-Bit with a blind timber.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then...
there was a bit, wasn't there, early on, not early on, sort of halfway through the match, where he slapped him in like, the chest and like the stomach, and he left these like 3 big red like welts on like 2-Bit's stomach.
It was a lot.
And then he was like stretching him loads like on his abdomen and stuff. It was really cool. I've never seen someone work the stomach in a match.
I've seen one man do it before, and that is the birthday boy friend of the podcast, DJ King.
Oh, fair.
I've seen him chop a man across their abs.
Yeah, well, that's what Oberman did to 2-Bit. And then as soon as he put him in like a Boston Crab, but then he sort of picked it up and put his knee in. And as soon as he bent, he rings back on his abdomen, he tapped straight away. It was great. Then after the match, he had a little beat down, and then he took 2-Bit's Northwest Strong jacket and ripped it in half.
Like it was a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And 2-Bit looked devastated.
So I think this is leading because Atomic have got like Joe Kessler as one of their like top guys. I mean, he's like the main eventer. I reckon this is leading to Oberman working his way up to Joe Kessler.
Well, he's feuding with him in Wrestle Island as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I say feuding. They're working towards that, aren't they?
Well, he's beaten him up twice, hasn't he? Like before matches.
Off camera.
Yeah.
Oberman's facing someone pretty cool at Wrestle Island, isn't he?
Tony
Wright, our boy.
Tony. Oh,
yeah.
Such a shame that one of our favourites is going to get murdered.
So second match, I think, was Act 2 versus Harley Hudson and Sam Bailey.
Yeah, this was fun.
Nice.
So this was made incredibly more entertaining due to the fact that we were sat directly in front of Harley's parents.
It's always good when you're sitting next to Harley's mum. She's so vocal.
It was so good. Obviously Harley's mum is obviously Harley's biggest fan, which is great. This was like obviously Harley and Sam wrestled each other at the last show, and like Harley
Wrestle Atomic's Twitter tweet of this to build up the match was, well, they really hate each other, so we thought it'd be really funny if we made them tag team, and that was the reason that they put them together.
And there was obviously Sam Bailey also trained Harley at Future Shock. There was a really funny moment where Harley went to put a submission onto, I think, Jack Knutsford. The right, I can't remember. Knudsen, there we go. Jack Knudsen, and she was right near the ropes, and he got the rope straight away. And then Sam Bailey just shouted, "He's too near the ropes. Who told you to do that?" And then she said, "Who trained you?" And then
Who trained you?
And she went, "You did." It was excellent. And there was a lot of like Sam Bailey being a shithouse, like he was stealing tags, wasn't he? Trying to come in and steal the win.
I love Sam Bailey. He's so
but every time he tagged in, he got himself into trouble, and Harley had to come and like bail him out, basically. which was
really
great.
funny. She was like, "Tag, come on, you can reach, you can do it."
And then he was like slapping her hand dead hard and like being a prick.
Yeah,
it was excellent. So the only, I say, downside or upside, the music broke like on this match. They couldn't get the music working, and so the crowd had to sing Harley's theme tune, which is that Girls Aloud song, like something kind of ooh. Which was fucking phenomenal because Shay was singing it down the mic. It was great. So that was really good fun.
Sam cost Harley the match.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
I was about to say, did Sam Bailey cost Harley? Because that is a Sam Bailey thing that he does, is turn on tag partners and cost them matches.
Oh,
he does like doing that.
That's what he did.
So he kind of left Harley stranded, and Act 2 pitted the win. Then we had, after that, was it the 6-man?
No, it was the 4-way, wasn't it? After that,
yes, the 4-way. Sorry, yeah, it wasn't a 6-man; it was a 4-way. So it was Kingsley, Tony Wright, Jack Critchlow,
Ethan Kelly,
yeah, which was hilarious.
And Jack Critchlow came out in a full tracksuit.
Yeah.
Bet he was warm.
He didn't take it off either. He kept it on.
He must have been roasting because it was warm that day, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was that was a really fun match. A lot of callbacks to Kingsley and Tony Wright's match at the last show. And Tony Wright won again by pinning Kingsley, which was
nice.
Yeah, really cool.
Jack Critchlow came out and was like, right, Ethan Kelly looks like Voldemort. Ben Kingsley looks like Hagrid, and Tony Wright looks like Dumbledore. And Tony Wright looked at us and went, "I'm Snape, aren't I?" It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, no, it was really good. That Jack Critchlow was really entertaining. He's like got a lot of MJF about him, hasn't he? In the way he sort of how he is in his matches, how he carries himself.
Yeah, it's so good. Use it all guts. That's what he was saying.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this is worse than Electric. So yeah, that was really fun. Then we had a little break, went outside and cooled off a bit, which was nice because it was quite.
The entire venue left.
Everyone just got a beer and went outside for as long as possible because it was so hot. Then back for the second half, we started with, I think it was it the tag match?
Lizzie and Alexis.
Was it Lizzie and Alexis?
No. It was tag match. It was the models and Made to Last.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It was so good.
This was just like proper, like old school British tag team wrestling, like all the way through. Like loads of cool double team stuff, loads of like really cool little like switching in and out. Leon Gray being Leon Gray trying to be like really nice while also being a shithouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And then
no, go on.
Oh no, I was going to go to the end, but if you want to talk about the actual match first.
No. The gear was fantastic as well. The models, they were so good. But then at the end, they wanted to do like the dance. Was it the runway? The runway was it they called it, or the catwalk?
Yeah,
catwalk.
And then Leon and Ryan turned on them and started beating them up.
Scumbags.
Yeah. I mean, just to give you an idea of how well the models have done and how long they've been like at this level. Me and you were talking the other day on Discord.
We were talking yesterday about a match.
A show we went to 10 years ago with the models were in.
Wow.
They have been going forever. But they're still
top lads.
Yeah, they're still excellent. They're still so good.
The models.
So that was really good fun.
Before Lizzie and Alexis, we had Declan McCarthy versus Leah Raven, and I have never seen either of these wrestle before, and they are fantastic.
So Declan McCarthy is just this.
Declan McCarthy's awesome.
He's just fucking huge guy. Is everyone except Ryan from Northern Ireland just a fucking hoss?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because this guy is fucking huge. He was great.
Ryan, average size man from Northern Ireland.
And Leah Raven.
I didn't keep him.
Leah Raven was incredible as well. I really enjoyed her.
Leah Raven.
Can't wait to see more of her.
I was going to say, they're making a big deal of her.
TNT, isn't she? Yeah.
I just remember DJ King mentioning it to us when he was from the show.
She's going to be at the Ignition.
I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up at Siren's Fury or something along those lines. Maybe keep your eyes peeled.
Absolutely. But yeah, this was so good, and she really he had no mercy, did he, for her while wrestling in that match?
No, God, no. I mean, the start of this match was almost like a little uncomfortable. It was just Leah just trying to do anything and Declan just cutting her off all the time. Like huge power moves, throwing her over the ropes, throwing her into the corner. And then like Leah sort of got used to it a little bit and like sort of started getting a little bit wise and like it was a typical like big wrestle, small wrestle. She was like trying to use his momentum against him and sort of stuff like that. But no, it was really entertaining. They told a really good story in the ring. And I can't. Did Leah won, right?
Leah won, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
and crowd was super hot for it as well. They were like really, really behind Leah.
Yeah, so the crowd were really good for as good as they could be. They were a little the crowd was a little subdued, including ourselves, because it was fucking roasting. So you couldn't really go like too mad. But like I think considering the amount of people there, they made quite a good bit of noise, didn't they? They cheered for all the right bits and everything. And considering like the first show, it wasn't like a typical wrestling crowd. There were a lot of I'd say lapsed wrestling fans who'd just come because it was in like a nice brewery and they wanted to see some wrestling maybe.
I think it definitely wasn't our usual crowd that you get at other shows.
No.
Which is a nice change. I think a lot of it is people who have never been to wrestling shows before, and it being a cheap price and in a local venue as well.
Yeah, and in a venue that they might go to anyway. Like you might just go to the tap room anyway for a drink.
I was going to say, I reckon they've definitely picked up a lot of the craft beer crowd.
Yeah. It's just nice to have a wrestling show with really good beer there, which is fucking excellent. Just go and have a few pints.
Yeah.
It's great. And then, so next up then we had a women's match. We had the rematch of the feud of 2021.
Oh, it was so good.
Which was, Lizzie versus Alexis. But the dynamic,
so weird the dynamic
switched because, they were the other way around. Now Lizzie was the face, Alexis was the heel, which was excellent.
I feel like TNT are building to this, and when it happens, it's going to be awesome.
Lizzie's taking the long way around, and when she she's going into she's like the tag division now and sort of doing stuff there, and she'll get back around to Alexis. You feel like eventually.
Yeah. I brought my friend who was actually Alexis Falcon's roommate through all of uni. They lived in a house together, and Alexis looked genuinely shocked to see her because she didn't know she was coming. It was so funny.
That was brilliant.
She just kept and me just violently booing Alexis as well. I think she's going to murder me at the next show, so it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
When Alexis was announced as like living in Liverpool, there was a chant. Lizzie got a chant of wool started.
Yeah, it was so good.
And I shouted, "What colours you been?" Obviously.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really fun match. Lizzie won.
She did. Alexis licked her face, which was gross.
Yeah, could have done without that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but really, really fun match. Just want to see more of that, really. And I'll never get tired of watching Lizzie and Alexis. Sorry if I'm a bit vague on who won matches, just because like I've been at a beer festival since Thursday and like my brain's just leaked out my ear. I've forgotten everything that's happened.
And you had a lot of heat exhaustion.
I was so hot all weekend, like it was ridiculous. Yeah. So I'll try my best, but you might have to help me out on who won what. And then like main event time. So at the start of the show, there was another video message from Rob Drake, who said he couldn't be there. Well, he said he didn't want to be there, didn't he? He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not there because I can't be arsed."
He was like, "I don't care."
He was in like a big sort of like nice back garden, like chilling out in his duck shorts.
But he had ducky shorts on, so it's fine. We all forgive him.
But he said he'd handpick someone to replace him, who was going to fight Joe Kessler in the main event. So Joe Kessler came out, did his entrance. He looked cool as shit, you know. And then,
as always,
Lana Austin's music played.
Lana came out,
went to get in the ring. As she was like slowly getting in the ring, Rob came in from behind, like literally through the back door, ran in and started beating up Joe.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my God. This felt like very, not one-sided, but it definitely felt like Rob was like just out to murder Joe. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like just make an example of him.
It was a really fun match, like super like a proper like two heavyweights just going at it, like big, hard hitting, like really, really fun. Yeah.
The best bit was where Rob got Joe's face paint on his hand and went, "Look, it's a mask."
Oh yeah, he was like legitimately like shocked to discover that wasn't Joe's actual face, despite the fact. So what that means is he thinks that Isaac North's face actually looks like that, then, because he doesn't know
Isaac North's face does actually look like that.
So and imagine when he meets Darby Allin, that's what's going to happen. He's going to have a freak out.
But yeah, no, Rob Drake was he's awesome, isn't he? He's so much fun.
He's fantastic.
Yeah. Who is Rob Drake facing at Infamous? Has he got a match soon? There, I think he has, hasn't he?
Isn't it Temple and Malin murdering Barry?
Yeah, Barry and Danny Proper.
Yeah.
Which,
the Banterverse.
That's a sacrifice to the old gods if there ever was one.
I know.
Have they got
Danny Proper dying for all our sins.
Have they got memes in hell?
Barry, I'll make them. It's fine.
Yeah. So main event, Faye, who won?
It was Joe Kessler, I believe. Oh no, was it Rob?
No, I think Joe won. I remember Joe's music playing.
Oh, it must have been Joe then.
Wow, this is
it was Joe because Chase Alexander came out.
Yes.
And took out Joe.
Yeah, so after the match, so Joe won as he was standing tall. Yeah, Chase Alexander rose
from
the
commentary all night
with his heel up high, and then he battered
and his fabulous gold blazer.
Yeah, and then he beat up Joe Kessler and challenged him. Basically, stood tall and challenged him. So yeah, that'll be hopefully the next show, 2nd of August. So yeah, put that in your diary.
Yeah.
But yeah, once again, phenomenal show from Atomic. Like, second show, they've smashed it again. Like, it's remarkable how, I don't want to say how, like, they've just got everything right, haven't they? In terms of like the production and the presentation and like the booking, like really good, like good independent UK wrestlers from the Northwest. I think we're not too far off maybe seeing Quintessential there, because Pud and Christy have been doing the ring work for them, haven't they?
Pud was like, when Lizzie came out and I got super psyched, Pud came over and was like, yes! And we just got super happy to see Lizzie together. It was great.
We got a hug from Tony afterwards as well, off Tony Wright.
Yes.
That was nice. Yeah, and then
it was really lovely.
I had a little chat to Ryan Thorne on the outside as well.
Yeah, and Lewis Johnson as well from Shinobi. Well, they're formerly from Shinobi. But yeah, he's also great.
But yeah, I would absolutely recommend, obviously, next time it swings around, tickets are like 10, 12 quid. It's ridiculous. It's midweek.
£15 per seating, which is great, because then I don't have to worry about what time I'm getting there, because it's already reserved.
Yeah, or if you're like me, just buy the standing ticket and just assume Faye's bought too many tickets.
Give Faye's name in.
Just say you are Faye, because she's bought like 9 tickets for one person, and it's fine.
I bought a lot of tickets and they all got taken up, didn't they? Like, it's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome. Jay, any wrestling while you were dredging up your guts? Any wrestling you watched over the weekend?
While I was that day, me and Troy did a watch along, which come out on Friday, which was Rory Coyle versus Eddie Kingston. That was fun.
Oof. Sounds amazing.
Yeah. The finish was grotty. It was upsetting. Did I think I just watched the normal stuff. Ring of Honor and AEW.
There wasn't much else on really, was there? Like
too hot.
There was an Impact pay-per-view, but I didn't get to see it, and I'm gutted because Alex Shelley won the world title.
Yeah, won the big one. Alex Shelley
and Chris Sabin.
And Sabin won the X Division title, and they're still the tag champions. So Motor City Machine Gun's got all the belts.
It's like 2013 all over again. It's great, except they're actually winning titles, which they should have done in 2013.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is great.
It was quite a surprising one as well, though, because Macklin's only just won the belt, and it felt like they were going to keep that on him for a while.
Yeah, but Alex Shelley, though, innit?
Yeah, that's true.
He deserves all the belts.
Yeah. Right, do you want to talk us through a bit of Ring of Honor, Jay, while we're here?
Yeah, go on. Let me get the results up. Talk amongst yourselves, class, because I had AEW up instead of Ring of Honor.
Oh, come on, mate. You always do Ring of Honor first.
I know, mate. I'll
just run down the results for that Impact show.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a really good show, to be fair.
That's
you got to run them.
Yeah, there's some Hiroshi Tanahashi news there. It's just been announced that New Japan Multiverse United 2.
Gasp.
When's that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know. Kento Miyahara as well's having a match in Noah against Keno, which is fucking mental. It's just like the forbidden doors are just like stuck open in Japan at the moment.
Yeah.
Moxie's nailed them all to the wall.
He just put a brick between the forbidden door.
Right, against all odds results, Kylan King defeated Neva. Kylan King complete by Taylor Wilde. That's cool. That was the pre-show. Joe Hendry retained the digital championship against Dirty Dango on the pre-show. Frankie Kazarian beat Eddie Edwards. Ace Austin and Chris Bay defeated the Good Hands, Jason Hutch and John Schuyler. Masha Slamovich defeated Killer Kelly in a dog collar match. That sounds good.
That I've heard that was incredible.
Chris Sabin obviously beat Trey Miguel to win the Impact X-Division Championship. What the fuck? So there's an 8-4-1 match.
An 8-4-1 match, which I was really intrigued by. So the rules are, it starts as a 8-man tag, and then the winning team becomes a fatal 4-way there and then.
And then the winner of that becomes number one.
The winner of that gets a title shot again at the next pay-per-view. So
the first phase, Bully Ray, Heath, John Gresham, and Nick Aldis defeated Mike Bailey, Moose, PCO, and Rich Swann. And then it became a 4-way match, and Nick Aldis beat Bully Ray, Heath, and Jonathan Gresham by submission.
So we're getting Nick Aldis and Alex Shelley.
Nick Aldis versus, it is literally 2013 Impact all over again. We're back. Next up, Deonna Purrazzo and Trinity defeated Giselle Shaw and Savannah Evans in a tag team match.
I imagine that would have been quite fun.
Yeah.
Need to watch more Impact, man. I say this every fucking week. Like, their roster's so good.
Ohio versus Everything defeated Sammy Callahan, Jake Christ, and Madman Fulton defeated Violent by Design, all the designers and unknown, Dina, Alan Angels, and Connor in an Ohio street fight. But that was nonsense.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds real good. And then,
I love that the Dark Order referenced the design on BT this week.
Yeah.
And then he's with Nazis.
Alan's in a gang of racists.
and then Alex Shelley defeats Steve Macklin 22 minutes in the main event.
Yeah,
that'll be an amazing
Steve
match,
Macklin, for anyone who doesn't know, is the former what was his name? Steve Cutler from the Forgotten Sons in WWE.
Yeah.
He's got fucking massive and he's got really good.
And he's married to Deonna Purrazzo. There we go.
He is married to Deonna Purrazzo. He was meant to take looked like he was going to take the belt off Josh Alexander, and then Josh Alexander got injured, and then he had the only defense I think he had on pay-per-view was against PCO, and it looked like it was a fucking bloodbath.
I feel really bad for Macklin because his WWE career died because Jackson Riker was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Also he did give a load of people COVID in WWE, which was another reason why he got a fuck ton of heat.
So did whatchamacallit? So did Sean Spears' wedding. Not Sean Spears.
No, Matt Cardone's.
Matt Cardone's wedding, yeah. But
that's where he got it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's where he got it.
That's when the American Nightmare got COVID, wasn't it? And that's when we had stupid fucking interim championships.
That's where the interim championships was born. Right. While we've been doing all that talking anyway, I've managed to get the Ring of Honor results up. So, Kyle Fletcher defeated Christopher Daniels in an absolute banger. Go watch that. Matt Sydal defeated Zach Clayton and then cut a promo basically saying that you can tear through any heavyweight you want and called out Samoa Joe. Dralistico had an absolute fantastic match with Willie Mack. This was so much fun. Again, go out your way to watch it if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan came out and announced that Samoa Joe defends ROH TV title against Sydal next week, and then introduced a board of directors for Ring of Honor. He basically just said he doesn't want to. He wants people running it in his place so he can focus on the sort of bigger picture. And it's Stokely Hathaway and Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn, who turned 60 today, by the way.
Happy birthday, Jerry Lynn.
Yeah. Stokely Hathaway was fantastic in this whole thing. as you'd expect. He did the awkward hug with Tony, like the Tony crying hug on the stage. He basically said as well, Action Andretti's been running his mouth about beating Chris Jericho, so I'm gonna book him against the entire embassy. And then Tony Khan made that into a 6-man for next week as well, for the 6-man titles, the embassy versus Andretti, AR Fox, and Darius Martin.
Nice.
Back to the matches anyway. We got where are we? We got Willow defending the New Japan Strong Women's Championship match against Rachel Ellering in a little house fight. That was really fun. Ring of Honor 6-man world title Proving Grounds match. The Embassy defeating Marcus Cross and the Shinobi Shadow Squad. Mercedes Martinez against Vixen. That was really fun. Griff Garrison returned from injury. He's been out for a while.
Who the hell's that?
Who the fuck is Griff Garrison?
Don't worry about it. He wrestled Lee Moriarty in what was a really fun match. Kira Hogan defeated Robin Renegade, and then after the match, Athena tried to attack her with a kendo stick, and Kira basically got the upper hand, beat the shit out of Athena, and then Athena was fuming, which was fantastic. I'm really looking forward to the rematch of that because the one they had last week was really good. Dark Order defeated Shane Taylor Promotions, which, I mean, you got Shane Taylor and Evil Uno having a house fight, and then obviously John Silver and JD Drake having a house fight. What's not to love there? After the match, the Righteous with Stu Grayson shown up, and Stu basically kind of accused the Dark Order of losing the killer instinct, and Vincent was basically said what the Righteous are going to do next week is going to be much worse than anything the Dark Order can do. So
it's going to be worse worked punches than we saw back in 2020.
Yeah.
So someone's getting crimed. Darius Martin, Action Andretti, and AR Fox defeat the Trustbusters, which was the team of Sonny Kiss, Slim J, and Jeeves K.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Great seeing Sonny back. She's excellent. The Kingdom defeated Cobarde and El Dragon, two luchadors who were fucking awesome.
I like how the Kingdom just go out now and have a quality 10-minute match on Ring of Honor, and that's just what they do.
Yeah. Mike Bennett got bust open hard way, and he didn't know how he did it, but he was pissing blood. He literally got kicked, but it was not near his face. But then he goes in the corner, and you just see blood pouring out his head. I was like, oh, that's not good. And he turns around, he's got full crimson mask. Everyone's freaked out, and he's just I'm fine. Let's just carry on wrestling.
Love that.
But yeah, they had a really fun match. Stokely Hathaway came out, and Stokely Hathaway, Jerry Lynn, and Tony Khan came out again, and Stokely Hathaway tried to outlaw Lucha Libre in Ring of Honor, which then Tony was like, yeah, what's that about? And he was like, oh yeah, you can't have good ideas all the time. Also, Stokely was wearing a absolutely fire suit. It was pink and white pinstripes.
Oh, nice.
He looked like a fucking peppermint. It was fantastic. And then the main event, the way this was set up was weird because Tony Khan basically started talking about how great Bandido was, and then went, unfortunately, Bandido isn't here, but his brother is Gravity, who might be my new favorite wrestler. He's fucking awesome. So he come out in his gear was think Luchador Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then he came out in a spacesuit and was walking he had no anti-gravity. So
wow.
like a moonwalk, but not the dance, a slow motion walk essentially. And then he gets in the ring and he just is stupidly fast. Him and Phoenix had an absolute banger. He did a spot where he did the sort of slow motion walk, and Phoenix was like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Went to basically hit him, moved out the way, and just ran into Phoenix in one move. It was fucking insane.
Oh my god!
He got a standing ovation after the match. He was phenomenal, really impressed, and he's younger than Bandido, which means he's probably going to end up being better than Bandido. After the match, there was a weird kind of exchange where Leon St. Giovanni, who is a former Ring of Honor prospect, was timekeeping, and Phoenix went over and shook his hand, and he made a big deal out of it. And then went in the ring, hugged Gravity, and then left the ring for Gravity to kind of celebrate him, even though he lost. But yeah, really, really fun match. Go check it out.
I love how a lot of these Ring of Honor things, like, where are like luchadors being told that they have to bring their brothers out with them when they go and play with the mates. Because like this what happened with Roosh and his brothers.
Roosh is like, "Can I murder Jungle Boy?" And his mum's like, "Yeah, but take your brother."
Oh, Roosh. Good old Roosh. I miss him. Come back. Yeah, but a really good episode. Go watch it. Gravity's awesome. I hope he gets signed. And also the other two, El Dragon and El Cabade, who apparently are currently signed to MLW, Riccaboni said.
Oh, right. Okay.
So the fact that they shown up on Ring of Honor was pretty cool. Yeah, Ring of Honor stays being my favorite, like, 2 hours of wrestling every week, just because it's just fun matches.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we get into some of the other part of Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Ring of Honor's sister. Ring of Honor's like developmental AEW.
Ring of Elite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But sort of Dynamite. Remember, like, we're living in this era now where just every Dynamite ever now starts with Orange Cassidy having a straight banger with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time
it's my favorite timeline. This was tremendous. I think this should develop into a full-blown feud, which it looks like it might be.
Yeah, this was
because
possibly one of the best
Swerve
matches.
needs to get the fuck away from this Keith Lee feud because it's just spinning its fucking wheels at this point.
Yeah.
And 2, him and Orange might have the best chemistry out of any of Orange's opponents that he's had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, this was just phenomenal. I think
I got a fear for Orange.
We've said this a lot. You've said this before, haven't you, Jane? We've said it, like, Orange Cassidy is doing the fucking Lord's work. This feels like the most essential championship in AEW right now.
Yeah.
Orange is on the run of his career. Like, I'm so invested. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, this story that's been told around, like, Orange Cassidy and the international title is, like, so compelling. So, like, it starts out, doesn't it? Orange Cassidy. Remember when Orange Cassidy was first in AEW? Like, he didn't even wrestle. He'd sit in the corner and, like, a battle royal, like, eat a sandwich and just, like, not be arsed. And, like, that was his whole character. And he wasn't, like, randomly given this shot. Remember, like, before he won this title, he was attacking Pac backstage and, like, challenging him for the belt.
He wasn't attacking him. Oh, sorry, before the world title. I thought you were going back to, like, the initial Pac match.
No, like, before this.
Before we go right
title
back.
match. No, he was, like, knocking him out backstage, went, like, putting them and, like challenging for title matches and stuff.
Yeah, because Pac kept basically taking out all this fucking anger on Orange Cassidy because he's an angry, angry man. And didn't he hit him with the hammer to, like, prove a point to the Elite or something at one point?
Possibly, yeah. I think there was definitely some sort of rhyme there.
Yeah, and then obviously Orange, like, came to prove a point, just kept fucking Superman punching Pac, which was great. But yeah, the story arc where, and even in interviews, Orange Cassidy said, like, he wanted to make this the belt that everyone should strive to go for if they're not in the world title picture.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, like, it's what the Intercontinental title used to be thought of back when. I say back when WWE gave a shit about it. They're doing a really good job at the moment with Walter. Yeah. But back before they, like, stopped caring about it, when it was the must-see belt.
Sosword.
Like, yeah, Wardlow's just the fucking US title when Mox had it, or when D-Man Bros had it. People just fucking forgot about it at this point. Well, to be fair, Wardlow's doing a good job of, like, re-establishing that as well as, like, the Hoss belt.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm sure you're very happy with.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some really fun bits in this. I mean, like, well, first of all, you have to talk about the whole, like, before we go off in the match, talk about the whole, like, arc. I love the idea, like, so Orange Cassidy, this guy who never really wanted to try, and then, like, Pac wound him up so much that he was desperate to take his belt off him to, like, pay him back, basically, beat him, and then it's almost like this, like, Pandora's box he's in now. He's in this situation where he's basically wrestling himself to death, isn't he?
Yeah. Because he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
And he just wants to be lazy, but he can't be lazy because he doesn't want to lose the belt, and it means that much to him.
Yeah, because he's the champion
now. He's in
deep
water now, and there's all sharks.
And it's just beautiful. Like that promo the other week when he was like, when Renee was there and like she gave him the mic and he just went, I'm just so tired.
Yeah, I've really felt that.
I was like, it was.
The thing is, it's all of his own doing as well. Like the Battle Royal, he didn't have to defend it in a Battle Royal. He went to Tony Khan and went, still Battle Royal. I have everyone who's after me just wrestle me in one go. Like that was I think that was more of a case if he just wanted to get it all over with in one go. He just didn't want to drag it out over like weeks because that sounded exhausting. Like, just if there's like 20 guys who want to chuck, just give them all at once so I can just do it and get it over with. I tell you what though, whoever takes that belt off him now is a fucking made man in AW. They're gonna feel like such a credible threat to anyone. Like I think Swerve is the right guy to do it.
Unless it's Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I don't want to keep it away from Sammy, even though he's been like absolutely smashing at the moment. I don't want him having the sex with the belt. I don't want him putting another baby in tie with that fucking belt round his waist.
Don't do a sex. Don't do a sex on this belt, mate.
But yeah, like I mean, Swerve seems like the logical choice for me. I think Swerve would benefit from having that around, like having that gold.
And he's someone who can wrestle across the Indies as well, and like show it around a bit like Pac used to.
Yeah. And also then, obviously, the fact that you can have you can have like Swerve defending it against like guys like Darby Allin and Nick Wayne's coming in soon.
Yeah.
And just being a horrible piece of shit with that belt.
What if Swerve wins it like soon and then Nick Wayne wins it on his debut?
Well, that would be good. But also because his debut's only Nick Wayne's debut's only like less than 6 weeks away. I think it's about a month away.
Or what if Nick Wayne just wins it straight away and then him and Swerve feud over it? Off Orange.
That could be good.
I mean, Swerve is like the king of like crime and Nick Wayne at this point. Like,
I don't know. Did you see what Kenta did to him?
I remember the first time that he did it, and Swerve like held like Nick's like bloody face up like to his mother in the crowd.
Yeah,
it was shocking.
Oh god! Yeah. What if obviously Nick Wayne's dad passed away a few years ago, didn't he?
Oh no!
Oh, Christian Cage is gonna fucking go all over.
Christian's just rubbing his hands together with glee. He's like, "Oh no, another one."
He's gonna be like in a Tom and Jerry cartoon when there's like a pie on the windowsill and they're like going towards the smell. Christian Cage is going towards Nick Wayne's grief.
Just before we move on, I want to talk about the finish of this match because I think it was a bit.
I was literally about to get to that.
I think it was quite important. So we've seen the sort of the degradation of like Orange's way of winning over like the months that he's had this title. So it used to be the Orange Punch, didn't it? Like just the Orange Punch. Then his hand got hurt. Then it was like the Orange Punch followed by the Beach Break, like using both his finishes back to back. Then it turned into the Mousetrap, like quite a bit. And this time it was literally because they were trading roll-ups at the end. Swerve grabbed his tights, and then Orange reversed it and grabbed Swerve's tights.
Yeah, and Swerve looked like he wanted to fucking murder Orange.
Yeah. So this is like he's getting down to like scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of ways he can win matches here.
Yeah.
This gives Swerve a reason for a rematch as well.
Yeah.
Most importantly. I think for me, I think the two logical people that could take it off him at this point are either Swerve or maybe Pac again.
Yeah, if Pac comes back and goes like,
just because Pac's been away for such a long time, and like,
what if Pac wins it at All In?
I could see that happening.
I've got a feeling that we're getting Death Triangle versus House of Black at All In.
I booked it, mate.
Oh,
you did.
So did King. So did DJ King.
He did. Top menace, DJ King. Happy birthday.
Right. Next up, then, Brian Danishes came out to join the commentary team. A video of his challenge. So they showed his challenge video for COD. They bleeped up the swears.
He did.
But yeah, it was fine. And then we have BCC versus. They were just introduced as Chaos, which was great. So that was Trent, Chuck, and Rocky.
Well, Trent and Chuck are officially Chaos members.
Yeah. I like that. Really fun match. This was just hard hitting, wasn't it? My favorite bit was
Rocky Romero can go, man.
He's so good. Like you forget because he doesn't wrestle all that often now because he does like business and stuff, doesn't he? But like
Rocky feels like he's got better with age, though. Like,
yeah,
he genuinely feels like he's considerably better now than he was like 10 years ago, and he was fucking awesome 10 years ago.
Yeah, I liked the little Roppongi Vice segments they did, like Trent and Rocky doing a few little team ups, sad Chuck Taylor noses.
I like though that on mainly on BT the kind of teasing Chaos Chuck coming back where he just kicks people in the dick for no reason.
Yeah,
gets them disqualified, and it's just like, what are you doing, Chuck?
Shout out!
You all right?
Shout out to the bit at the end where Trent went for a dive to the outside and Claudio just fucking uppercutted his soul out of his body.
Oh my god.
Ah, man. It's good job Trent's got that fucking brand new neck in it.
Yeah. Put a few miles on that one, didn't he? Jesus Christ. And then,
what about Yuta murdering
Chucky.
Chuck at the end?
And then Moxley just choking Rocky to death at the same time.
Yeah.
I love this. So Chuck didn't lose the match. Chuck didn't get pinned or submitted. Rocky was the one who got submitted. But then after the match, they just murdered Chuck anyway.
Well, yeah, Yuta just carried on elbowing him until like Claudio pulled him off and went, all right, he's dead.
And ruffled her like he'd been a good kid.
Which is more heartbreaking when you take into account that Chuck trained Yuta.
Yeah.
Chuck literally taught Yuta how to do this.
Yeah, he said into the camera, I don't need friends. I don't need best friends. That's what he said.
Everyone needs best friends.
Yuta.
He's got family.
He's got his dad.
He's got his murder boys, murder dads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, then we had the Elite called out.
One thing I will say as well is Danielson did point out that Yuta's 1-0 over Kenny Omega. Never forget that Yuta won, Omega 0. We haven't talked about it. Danielson was excellent on commentary again. He's so good, isn't he? Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to keep Danielson on comms until Forbidden Door because they do not want to lose that match.
Yeah. Apparently he's still like a bit hurt, isn't he, after the Yama match, apparently.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Probably Anarchy didn't help.
Well, he didn't do anything really mad in Anarchy.
He didn't do much. Yeah. He didn't do much crazy shit in Anarchy, to be fair. I was thinking he was a bit...
probably why.
Yeah.
It's probably a combination of he's probably a combination of he's still like maybe healing a bit from the Iron Man match because that was insanity, and they don't want anything to interrupt this Okada match, do they? Like,
no, that's the fucking money match.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it as well, like last year they lost Punk and Tanahashi, which was like that's like
and Danielson was Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, they lost essentially 2 dream matches that they wanted to book last year.
Yeah,
and then they kind of rectified it with Mox and Tanahashi, but it was because it had already happened. It was less kind of an exciting match. So this year, I feel like they're going to go balls to the wall with the card, which we'll talk about in a bit, and 2, they're going to protect the shit out of everyone to get them there.
Yeah,
wrap them up in cotton wool.
Next up then, the Bucks and Hangman challenged the BCC to a match next week in Washington. Obviously, Washington where the first ever Dynamite was.
The Hung Bucks.
The Hung Bucks are back, baby.
Amateur.
Challenged Moxie, Claudio, and Yuta. Again, they challenged Moxie, Claudio, and Yuta, not Danielson. Because, Danielson, he ain't even fucking opening a door before the forbidden door now, is he? You know? It's
so funny because Danielson was like, challenge accepted, even though he wasn't even like in the match.
I like that Danielson, though, because obviously, like, he's like the shortest of the lot as well. He's acting like the big man.
Yeah.
Like, and they're all answering to him. Like, it's almost like Danielson's like assumed the leadership role of BCC. Even look at like when Mox like called out Okada on Danielson's behalf. And he's like, we train with the best wrestler in the world. Like, oh, Mox is answering to Danielson these days. Okay, that's interesting.
Next up then, MJF came out. Basically said he needed some competition. No one was on his level. Adam Cole's music hits. The crowd went fucking nuts.
Hey, it's has anyone booked that as the main event for my fantasy All In? Yeah, I can't remember.
That won't be it all in. That'll be it.
I did.
All out.
Nah, All In, mate.
So then it was just a really fun promo because again it was shades of the CM Punk promo, wasn't it? MJF said like when he was younger he was a big Adam Cole fan. He saw him on Ring of Honor. He got all of his tape, and he basically said
even down to Cole just standing there without a mic and just like weathering all the abuse that MJF was throwing at him.
And then MJF basically said, "Oh yeah, the person who's standing in front of him now isn't the guy he saw in Ring of Honor." He basically called him a Game Boy, not a Playboy. Made fun about him being the one with the balls
and his body.
Yeah, and his body. Again, just all the shit the internet says, basically, which is fun, because it kind of subverts it, which is funny.
A lot of talk from Keith Lee's manager.
There was a
that was a fucking great line.
there was a really fun bit where he said like AEW's done all this stuff to make you look cool. They gave you a reality show. They do this, they do that, and then borrowing from one of Cole's promos, and they said all AEW have to do for MJF to look cool is ring the damn bell.
Yeah, ring the freaking bell.
Which was awesome. MJF talked about all his good matches, and then he said Vince McMahon didn't think Adam Cole was the top guy.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I mean is true, sadly. But,
yeah.
Which again though baffles me when you think of like Shawn Michaels, like Vince's favorite fucking toy for so many years.
Yeah.
To the point where there's like conspiracy theories that Vince wanted to fuck Shawn and that like they had a relationship, and it's like you've literally got the modern day equivalent of that in Adam Cole.
Yeah,
you don't 100%. See anything in.
Another line I really liked was then Adam Cole was like, "Oh yeah, you want to talk about my body? We'll talk about my body at work."
I like when he said, "Let's settle this by having a piss in a bottle in the back."
Let's piss in some substance to use natural. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That was a lot, wasn't it? That really shook me. That.
And then my favorite bit at the end when he was like, "Yeah." He said he's better. He says, "When Jeff, I'm better than you," and then went and pointed to the ground, and they know it.
And then he did the Adam Cole baby because he'd been cut off when he got it.
I think this has potential to be a match of the year.
Well, presumably not the match they're going to have on Dynamite next week, because next week they're having an eliminator match, aren't they?
No, that's going to be some kind of fuckery to hold it off till all in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like MJF's going to get like an announced opponent from Japan because he like shit all over Japanese wrestling while he was at it. Don't know who. Probably
Tsuji.
Bad luck, Farley.
Yeah, Gato. It's fine.
Shingo would be nice.
Shingo, yeah.
I think Shingo and MJF had a really fun match.
Shingo's about to get Battle Bailey Kings to me, so don't worry about that.
Oh, dumb.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Just do MJF versus Yano. Do that instead.
The Mock Slayer.
Oh my god!
I'm so disappointed we're not getting Yano versus Eddie Kingston in the G1.
Next up, then the Hardys backstage. They're talking about trying to make Ethan Page a better person. Isaiah Cassidy moaned in his ear, which was hilarious. I love that. I
love how shook up Ethan got by that.
Yeah,
it makes me so uncomfortable, but like it's funny.
Then we had Jungle Hook versus Los Ingobernables. So that was Preston Vance and Dralistico again teaming up. Love to see it.
Yeah,
really, really fun match. This is the Texas Tornado match, so everyone just fucking went wild. Everyone was bleeding.
Oh, Preston when he got
Preston was bleeding.
Out.
No one else was.
Well, Preston was bleeding enough for everybody, to be fair. So
Preston was bleeding, and everyone was covered in Preston's blood.
Yeah.
It looked like he got done hard way by some.
I didn't even see what happened.
It was the turnbuckle.
The sinister square turnbuckles.
Yeah.
They were just sort of fighting at one point, and then the camera cut to like Dralistico, and then cut back to Vance, and he was just pissing blood. It was like, oh, all right, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Jungle Boy ripped open Dralistico's mask as well.
Yeah.
And to the surprise of nobody, it just looks like Spooky Rouge.
Yeah. Loved it at the end as well, where Jose ripped his top off and was like fucking cut, and then Jungle Boy Hook
Jose's fucking great.
Yeah, and then Hook just came in and murdered him, basically.
I always forget that Jose is like so ripped.
He is so jacked, isn't he? It's ridiculous.
He's so entertaining as well, though. He's like such a shit house, and then but he's like jacked, so he could probably battle like everybody if he wants to.
I want that to happen. That'd be really funny.
Yeah. So Jack Perry picked up the win with the snare trap on Dralistico. Yeah, good stuff. And then it was announced the main event of the first episode of Collision will be Bang Bang Gang and Samoa Joe versus CMFDR.
CM Phil. Can't wait.
This crowd the crowd seemed kind of into Punk here, didn't they?
I think the thing is Punk's gonna get a pop. It's like when fucking I'm trying to think of someone people boo all the time. Roman Reigns.
It's like when Roman was away for ages and he was a heel, but then he came back and everyone cheered him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like even like when Roman comes out and like everyone boos him, but like initially they'll cheer him.
Yeah. Jay Jay White and CM Punk are going to have the greasiest match ever.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. Fuck Jay White versus CM Punk. That can wait. Samoa Joe and CM Punk have unfinished fucking business.
Yeah, Joe's been teasing this for about 3 weeks.
Just fucking put Punk and Joe on Death Before Dishonor. Let them go a fucking hour. Just do that.
I would like to see Punk on Ring of Honor, to be honest. I would. Well, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, you've got Honor Club Fight. Go watch Punk and Joe's trilogy they had in Ring of Honor.
It's incredible.
It's genuinely like I'm trying to figure out a way for me and Troy to do a watch along of like the trilogy in one go.
Are a lot of them not on YouTube?
I don't think any of them are.
No,
they're all on Honor Club.
Yeah,
okay. They did it. So they did at one point put the trilogy up as one video, but I couldn't find it when I was looking for it the other day, which was very fucking annoying. On YouTube, not on Honor Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next up, nobody really talking about this. Takeshita just annihilated Danishes like in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm kind of into heel Takeshita. I want to see where he goes. Obviously, having done Callis with him is great because he's just going to draw heat everywhere, which is...
Yeah. I love heel Takeshita because he feels for the first time genuinely threatening.
Yeah.
Like, we all know how good he is. Like, he'd come out and he'd be like, oh, Takeshi's out, he's fucking awesome. But he'd never feel like a credible threat to whoever he was against. Barely picked up any wins. Now they've just literally gone that was
his whole story, wasn't it? It's like because he wasn't getting wins, that's why Don Callis started taking an interest in him to sort of help him along. So this whole thing's been building for ages.
Speaking of people who could feasibly take the belt off Orange,
that'd be a good job. Yeah, that'd be great. Wow. I'd like that. Next up, then, Christian Cage basically said on Anderson costing the TNT title, so he's going to take something from him and then beat up Brock.
Yeah.
Remember Brock Anderson? Remember Brock Anderson, Arn's actual son?
Don't worry about it. I think Christian is doing phenomenal work at the moment.
Oh, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think he's fucking fantastic. I mean, we all knew it. We all knew he's an amazing wrestler. He's a great character. He's a great talker. But he's really, really compelling. And he's someone that you love to fucking hate.
Yeah.
It makes it so easy as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having him as a heel is like an obvious move, isn't it? It just makes too much sense. It's so good.
There's a reason why Vince McMahon wanted his gimmick to be that he had the fucking blue dot over his face at all times.
Yeah.
He's got a face you just want to fucking smack.
Next up, then, Chris Statlander defended the title against Anna Jay. Really fun match. And Anna Jay again. She's getting back there, and she's building herself back up, which is good. Loved it at the end where Anna Jay had the Queen Slayer on, and Statlander just stands up.
Yeah, I love the Daddy Magic ringside just screaming at Statlander all match.
Yes, more of that, please. More Daddy Magic on TV all the time.
Daddy Magic's the best.
But yeah, Statlander picks up Anna with the Queen Slayer, slams her down, and then hits the Friday Night Fever, I think it's called.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever?
Damn.
Some Night Fever.
Fever.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a normal tombstone, not the other one she does where she like packages the legs.
I don't know.
I think it's just a normal tombstone.
I can't remember. Maybe she just forgot to do it. Yeah. So fun match. Chris Statlander's off to. I mean, she's having like. I know we all got a little bit fed up with Jay just squash people. At least Statlander's having like sort of 5-10 minute matches with everyone, and which is like, quite nice to get a bit more like women's wrestling on the show.
Yeah, I'd like Statlander to wrestle anyone from Stardom at Forbidden Door, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, wasn't that the pitch? Like, she was meant to wrestle in Tokyo before she got injured.
It was Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm that Stardom wanted to use.
Oh no, I think this was TJPW.
Oh, yeah.
Wanted Statlander for something. So yes, please.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Statlander versus Mahito, 20 minutes. Do it.
Well, she was backstage at AEW this week.
Yeah, but she left.
She did leave.
Yeah, she had to leave.
lovely little cameo from Mackie.
I love that. It was like, we found somebody who's not going to leave us. Like everyone else has left us, and Mackie's like, yeah, I'm leaving. Like instantly.
Yeah, she's too busy in the MDK gang now.
Too busy doing actual crime with Nick
Cage. Crime and Matt Cardona with light tubes.
Oh, that was fucking insane. So good. Right, then to the main event, Jay White v Ricky Starks. Yeah, this still isn't over, is it? Like, this is going to run and run.
I need promos. I'm going to be honest.
I need more promos. They did that video package at the start, but we've not had, which is what's pissing me off, like an actual back and forth. Like the way MJF does the sort of back and forths, which it seems more him and Jericho's kind of staple. I know it's like a kind of archetype of wrestling in general, but in AEW it seems more like their kind of thing.
But those are two. I know we say, right, like obviously if it was on Rampage, they could have done it. Like it's time for the main event thing.
If only they were like if only they were getting another show next week that they could do it on.
Yeah,
Jay White's going to be featured on.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert from after this match: the Bang Bang Gang now has 4 members.
Yeah, well,
so I think it's going to be Punk, FTR, and Ricky versus the Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang Gang. Yeah, so we'll talk about this now. So it was a really fun match. But then it ended. These two have
such good chemistry together.
Yeah, they wrestled. Like, I mean, Jay White's the type of guy who can have like a sort of 4-star pay-per-view match with anybody, can't he?
Yeah, I think as well.
Go on.
I was going to say, I think as well. Like Jay doesn't need to win this feud. Like he's already been presented as a credible enough threat that if Ricky were to win the feud, Jay White's gonna like end up like the scourge of someone else's like career.
I'm still entirely convinced this feud exists only because of how awesome it sounds when Juice shouts Ricky.
He just really loves EastEnders.
greasy man.
And I did like when I did like on the outside when Jay just put the steps back in place when they got like moved out of the way.
Yeah.
What I like is, what I love when you see like Jay wrestle someone with these maneuvers that can be easily reversed into the Blade Runner, or the Blade Runner can be easily reversed into. I think that makes it so much more like tense because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's why him and Okada had such good matches though, because they're literally like perfect to reverse the Rainmaker and the Blade Runner into one another, and if like Jay can hit it from anywhere as well. And the fact that after like the Ass Boys came and interfered, spoilers, because that's what happened. There was this was like a masterstroke from Jay White. So Ricky gets Jay up for the Rochambeau because he's like obsessed with hitting Jay with it, and he still hasn't, from what I can remember.
No. Because every time he does, like Juice pulls him like off the other side, doesn't he, and stuff, and like saves him.
Or Jay just like gets out and just runs away. Jay was like flailing his legs and like kicked the referee down. So then when Ricky finally hit it, the ref was down, and he had him down for like more than the 3, didn't he, before the Ass Boys got involved. Ass Boys come out, hit the 310 to humor on Ricky.
Love that. As soon as they do it, Tony Schiavone shouts 410 because he's never seen 310 to humor, the film, presumably.
There had to be.
I was like, Tony, you dickhead. That's the wrong.
Come on, Tony.
That's the wrong number.
And the Ass Boys basically. I mean, it makes sense that the Gun Club are going to be in the Bang Bang Gang. They are the guns, aren't they? Yeah. I think they're a good fit as well to be like Jay White's lackeys. I think that's they're kind of like they're really good stooges for like a guy like Jay White.
Energy.
Yeah,
they really have, haven't they, when you think about it?
They're like 2 ELPs.
Also, people can start calling it the Ass Club just to annoy Jay White. That'll be great.
He'll get pissed off by that as well. He gets so annoyed.
Yeah.
The Bullet Club hole. And then Jay White picked up the lifeless body of Ricky Starks.
I liked this. He didn't just pin him. He wanted to hit the Blade Runner on him.
He was a fucking arsehole about it. It was so good.
That's such a disrespect, didn't he?
Yeah. And Juice coming out and like hugging him after like he had this hard-fought victory.
And just screaming in Ricky's face as well when he's like dead on the floor.
He's an absolute fucking menace, Juice Robinson. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if this ran to like all in, all out time. Because I feel like these two have got like really good chemistry. and why not?
Yeah. Right, next up then, onto Rampage, sorry. Again, just starting off with random bangers. Bandido and the Lucha Brothers versus Big Bill, Lee Moriarty, and Ethan Page.
Yeah, this was great.
And the reason for this was that the match was already signed, the contract was already signed before Ethan Page went over to Matt Hardy, but because Matt Hardy was such a stand-up guy, he was like, "Oh, you can do it. It's fine."
Yeah, well, he let him honor his dates. He said, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was great. Again, really, really fun match. Like it's just great because Bandido just do Bandido things. Like,
and Ethan Page was on fire in this match as well.
Yeah,
Ethan Page is so good. Like, I'm hoping that this whole thing with Matt Hardy is like their way of kind of elevating him up, because he's just tremendous. He's just so talented.
Yeah.
He signed a long-term deal last year, didn't he? For like 5 or 6 years.
Ethan Page, yeah. It was right when he got his US citizenship, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, he's just a nice man as well. He's got a lovely vlog where he goes and buys toys with Brody King and Danhausen all the time.
Yeah, he just gets really excited when he finds rare toys.
He had Kip Sabian on the other week as well. I know you'd enjoy that, Tasty, because he probably involved buying Warhammer.
Probably did. Yeah, Kip Sabian probably bought him some orcs.
Kip probably bought himself like a chopper squad or something.
Some little killer cans. Right. Can we give some respect to Big Bill as well, because he's fucking killing it?
Big Bill's been on fucking fire recently. Like, he's been. I
never thought I'd get excited for Big Cass without Enzo, but here we are.
Yeah, but all you do is upgrade it to Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, because Lee Moriarty's also fucking awesome. So Big Bill just needs a little energetic guy around with him, but when that little energetic guy can actually wrestle really well, apparently it's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really remind me of Shawn Michaels and Diesel with the kind of like dynamic they've got.
See, I'm also thinking like Kane and X-Pac. That was my favorite big guy, little guy type team.
I was thinking with Shawn Michaels and Diesel because they were more kind of. They started off as like bodyguards and sort of like clients, and then they ended up being a bit more like level pegging, which is what like these two are kind of at the moment. Like I wouldn't be mad if these two like had the tag title run soon. Yeah.
So then towards the end of the match, Moriarty gets the Fear Factor on the apron, which looked fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee Moriarty's just taking horrible fucking bumps at the moment. It's like, what are you doing, Lee?
And then,
don't need this.
And then inside, Ethan Page was looking to win it. Matt Hardy came out. Matt and Jeff came out, and they started basically telling Ethan not to be a scumbag, basically. And as he was like leaning out the ring,
Jeff was like, you're not even wearing my gift.
Yeah, he's like, you're wearing the good luck charm I gave you, and then Ethan pulled up his wrist pads, and they were like Jeff Hardy like arm tights. That was so fun.
What was like weird about it though was like Ethan was about to hit Ego's Edge on Bandido, like he was about to win the match.
Yeah,
and that would have been like a massive victory for Ethan Page. And then the Hardys came out and stopped it, which was a bit heelish. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit mean too.
But then Bandido hit the 21 plex, which was lovely.
Oh, Bandido crimed them with that 21 plex.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That was lovely.
Love that move.
It's
great.
I had a little QTV segment after this, which was kind of fun in a throwaway way. They talked about being excited about Collision, because it looks like Hobbs is going to be wrestling on there for a bit.
I feel like Hobbs is going to... Yeah, I feel like Hobbs is going to be a big deal on Collision.
Well, Hobbs is... Punk really likes Hobbs, doesn't he?
Yeah, Punk was mentoring Hobbs, wasn't he? While they were having that like mini feud.
There was a lovely moment on BT this week where Nick was playing the Fight Forever on his Steam Deck, and
he played as Hobbs at one point, didn't he? And
Hobbs just sat there watching him. It was great.
Yeah, a little shit for not letting Hobbs play on the Steam Deck though.
Oh yeah, no one plays on Nick's Steam Deck. He probably takes it to the bathroom with him. So yeah, he squashed Caleb Crush. Yeah, but yeah. Fine.
He crushed Caleb Crush, you could say.
Yeah, there was some Wardlow announcement I can't remember anything about.
It was basically Wardlow announcing that he's going to be facing Jake Hager next week, and he's brought back the open challenge, and he's going to focus on Jake Hager and then come after Christian and Luchasaurus. Arn made
sounds like
a reference.
Arn has brought back the open challenge.
Yeah, Arn made some kind of reference to the fact that Father's Day wasn't the time because didn't Arn not long ago lose a son?
He lost a son like in the last 12 months.
His other son. Yeah. So yeah, basically Arn's gonna fucking probably shoot Christian in the car park at some point.
Armed Anderson going after Christian.
Stab him with a piss-soaked knife like it's fucking Puerto Rico.
Next up, we had the acclaimed and Danishes versus Spanish Announce Project. Probably went a bit longer than I thought.
This.
It went longer than I thought.
I thought it was long in the tooth.
I thought, no, I didn't think it went too long. I just thought it was going to be an absolute squash, but it went about 8 minutes, which was fine.
I enjoyed it because it plays into my theory that I've put on Discord that Andy from Pubs is secretly booking Rampage because last week it was essentially his fucking card that he booked. And then this week it was Angelico was the only person who Andy from Pubs would have booked that didn't wrestle last week.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It gave a really big showcase to Angelico. I thought I really enjoyed Luther in this. I thought Luther looked great. Which is words I never thought.
Words you'd never thought you'd say.
Never thought I'd utter those words in the year of our Lord 2023, but here we are.
To be fair, it reminded me of when Chaos Project were like first in AEW and Luther was kind of like scary. You know what I mean? Like
not the Nightmare Collective Luther, but
don't worry about it.
There was a nice throwback to the early Chaos Project days, though, wasn't there, when Billy Gunn threw Serpentico into Luther?
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed that.
Luther's got himself in really good shape as well. Like he's dropped a ton of weight, hasn't he? He's got real jacked.
Yeah.
He's not falling off the edge anymore, put it that way.
Yeah, he looks like he's like, because obviously he doesn't wrestle much. He's more like of a manager these days.
He produces a lot of the matches, doesn't he?
Yeah. And obviously the Spanish Announce project, so they do Spanish Announce every now and again. But yeah, I thought this was a really the thing that was cool for me was essentially that Angelico got a chance to kind of show what he can do because we all know how good he is.
Yeah, and we got to hear his music as well, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, they do this every now and again, though, don't they? Where they'll put Angelico on TV and go, "Remember how good he is," and then just not use him again for like 3 months. It's like, I miss Angelico.
Next up, then we had the promo setting up Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, and Jay Lethal versus Aubrey Edwards, Mark Briscoe, and Papa Briscoe. Now, my saving grace here, because this could be a disaster if they do it wrong, but I think with Papa Briscoe being involved, they might do it at the farm.
I think they'll do it in the ring.
Oh, I really don't want them to do it in the ring.
Papa Briscoe used to wrestle with the Briscoes in ROH, didn't he?
I know, but that was like 15 years ago, mate. Come on. I really need this to be a cinematic match for me to really enjoy this.
This match is literally going to be Jay Lethal and Mark Briscoe. Jeff Jarrett and Papa Briscoe are going to have some fuckery. Karen and Aubrey are going to have a cat fight or whatever.
Yeah. I just don't know. I'm tense to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one, but I'm not confident.
I think everything that Mark Briscoe seems to be involved in, no matter how much I'm like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this. As soon as Mark Briscoe's involved, I'm like, I'm kind of sold on this.
That's what's giving me the hope. But
his promo here was fantastic, and like, there's no one in AEW like him.
No,
which is why he's so compelling. Like,
he's not cosmetically pleasing.
Not cosmetically pleasing, but that's the thing with the Briscoes, isn't it? There was never anyone like them. They were completely different from everyone else. And the thing with Mark Briscoe is he looks like he's going to be fucking feral, and then he talks and he's really eloquent and he's really well spoken and he's very smart. But from a look, you don't think that. I think this is going to be absolute fuckery. But if they just take the last 5 minutes of that FTR Jarrett and Lethal match and just put that into a match, it's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't end with Aubrey hitting Karen with a guitar and pinning her, then it's all gone wrong, hasn't it?
Or hitting Karen with the stroke.
All three of them should get hit.
Yeah, everyone gets hit with it. Just have like every move is just someone hitting someone with a guitar.
That's
the only move in the entire match.
I want Mark and Papa Briscoe to hit a doomsday device on Jarrett.
Oh, yes, please. Or lethal.
Papa
or
Briscoe
both.
Jumping off the top.
Right then, next up then, main event, we have the four-way women's number one contenders match. That's a hard sentence to say when you're really heat exhausted. Sky Blue, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, Mercedes Martinez. A couple of things I liked about this match early on. First of all, because obviously it's a four-way, there's no DQs, so Marina Shafir comes in and just chokes out Mercedes Martinez when she's attacking Nyla. Which makes sense because there's no DQs.
Makes the save.
Shida, it was so bizarre seeing Shida come out to support Britt Baker, like former rivals, like blood rivals. And now, because the Outcasts are such menaces, they're on the same team, which is kind of cool.
It was even more bizarre that Shida wasn't in this match.
Yeah, but I think they wanted to just freshen up a bit, and Britt Baker.
Yeah, that's true. I really enjoyed this match. I thought everyone involved.
It was great.
Really
it was
good.
lovely. It was lovely to see Nyla back out there. It was lovely to see Mercedes get a run on AEW. Little match, and we'll talk about Sky Blue in a bit because we've probably got a lot to talk about Sky Blue.
Yeah, she set a kid on fire. This was really fun. I really liked the stuff with Britt and Mercedes. I felt like they had really good chemistry, rather, and I wouldn't be against seeing them exploring that a bit more. And Nyla's just excellent, isn't she? Yeah, like she can do no wrong. She's so fucking good.
She's just so reliable. Like she can just come in at any point and just be solid and just be awesome, just be solid, just have a great match with anyone. She's credible. She moves that bit where she was going for the knee off the top, and then Britt just shoved her off onto the apron. She had that bump on the apron and just rolled to the floor. Yeah. That looks
for a while after that as well.
Yeah, that looked so good.
They made it sound like she'd legit got injured, didn't they? On commentary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She hadn't, but
it's not essentially.
not
it's a 3-on-1. That's what Tony Schiavone said.
Well, the finish was also, it was very Nyla focused. So basically Mercedes and Britt hit big moves on her first.
Yeah.
And then Mercedes went to throw Britt out, but she sort of took Mercedes with her as she came out.
Yeah.
Which was kind of cool, and it left the ring kind of empty. And then Nyla, Sky Blue came in, hit Code Blue on Nyla, and picked up the win. Sky Blue, number one contender. I think I'm really into that.
I was fucking made up. I love Sky Blue. She's excellent. She's talk about someone who's improved in the last 6 months.
Yeah. Astronomically. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's only 23.
I think as well.
She's stupidly young.
Yeah, I think as well. It's about time they did with what they've done with the men's division, where they bring up people to elevate it up to that level. I think it's about time they did that with the women.
Just what they're doing with just bringing people up, put them in, not necessarily give them the win, but put them in that main event scene for a week or a couple of weeks. Just get people used to the idea of seeing them there, and then just rotating a few people in and out. So they can do it Sky Blue. They've done it with Anna Jay at the TBS title. Obviously you'd say Ty, but she's out of action for a little bit. Willow's another person. Statlander they've just done it with. Yeah, it feels like about sort of 4 or 5 months ago we had that sort of sea change, in the men's main event scene. It feels like we might be starting to see a little bit of that now in the women's scene as well.
I think as well with Ring of Honor obviously putting a bit more of a kind of focus on the women's wrestling side of things, it's allowing some of the younger talents, obviously Sky Blue's a prime example of it.
What's Sky Blue doing for the last few months? She's been having absolute bangers with Athena down in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. But even you look at people like Willow and Kiera Hogan as well, who've
you're thinking who's that next wave? So it could be Kiera Hogan, it could be Willow, it could be Penelope Ford. You could bring anyone back up now, couldn't you? And sort of
they're already seasoned talents, but they just maybe need a little bit of momentum to kind of make the crowd believe in them, which is what they've been doing there. As you say, Faye, put them on TV for a couple of weeks and then let them roll. I mean, to be honest, with Sky Blue, I think all she needs is just to have an absolute fucking bang with Tony Storm and she'll be fine.
Yeah.
What's fantastic is we've got the Owen coming up soon as well, so that adds extra layers into it.
We've got a chance. I mean, obviously they wanted the whole Britt and Adam Cole sort of thing, but I really hope that, especially the women's side, I really hope it goes to someone who's on the up, like someone who's up and coming this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'd quite like with the Owen, and I don't think they're going to do it, but I think it would be cool because it's different, is rather than having Britt and Adam in the tournament, have them
be the end.
The winner of the tournament then challenge them for the belt.
Like on Only Connect when you fight the previous winner to see who the best one is.
Yeah. And because there's nothing really like that with any tournaments. It's always you get this or you get that. It's never you've got to then fight the previous winner to actually win the tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it could
I feel
be like you get your cup, you get the Owen Cup, but can you get the belt?
Yeah, that's.
Well, the belts were just a prize last time, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, so they'll probably get some new ones made.
They had a cup as well, though, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, they had all sorts. Man, they had. It was like, it was like the greatest Royal Rumble. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Right, should we move on to a bit of news? Leave AEW there for the week.
Yeah.
I want to start with, because this is a big one, I want to start with the blocks have been released for the G1.
Yeah, boy.
Have a little chat about that. So A block is Sonada, Chase Owens, Hikuleo, Ren Narita, Shota Umino, Yota Tsuji, Gabriel Kidd, and Kaito Kiyomiya. Block B is Okada, Yoshihashi, Tangaloa, ELP, Taichi, Kenta, Great Khan, and Will Ospreay. Ospreay and Okada in the same block is a big one.
Yeah, they have been for the last couple of years, to be fair.
Block C, my boys, Ishii, Tamatonga, Mikey Nichols, Shingo, Eddie Kingston, Aaron Hanare, Evil, and David Finlay.
Eddie Kingston and David Finlay is one that really compels me.
Eddie Kingston and David Finlay, Eddie Kingston, Tamatonga, I'd be up for. Eddie Kingston, Ishii.
Eddie and Ishii just running it back. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Eddie and Shingo is going to be fucking ridiculous. And then block D is Hiroshi Tanahashi, Haruki Goto, Toru Yano, Tetsuya Naito, Zack Sabre Jr., Jeff Cobb, Shane Haste, and Alex Coughlin.
So, I was going to say, so in block A and block D, there's a rematch from Dominion there of arguably two of the better matches from Dominion as well. Yota Tsuji and Shin and Sonada, and Jeff Cobb and Zack Sabre Jr. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So it said as well, this year's G1 tournament will feature an elimination tournament after the block action. So the top 2 point scorers in each block will enter a single elimination tournament, the winner being crowned G1 champion.
Let's have Eddie already murdering David Finlay before he's even really got his teeth into the Bullet Club.
Eddie Kingston carrying on his proud tradition of killing Bullet Club leaders.
Yeah.
I think Finley's going to go far in the G1.
Yeah,
and this is how they make him feel like a star. And I mean that entrance at Dominion was fucking incredible. Like it was so good.
Let Dan Maloney and Eddie Kingston go for a bit when he tries to screw it up.
Oh, just book Dan Maloney and Eddie Kingston on a random show.
Speaking of money, can we talk about something that doesn't have much money?
The XFL?
Yeah, it's the XFL, which lost an estimated $60 million this year.
Fucking hell.
That's like, if anyone's wondering, the Arlington Renegades beat the DC Defenders for the championship.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, Dwayne bought that off Vince for $40 million, didn't he?
Yeah. So it's $100 million now, technically.
Now it's $100 million, yeah. Maybe, just see the writings on the wall. You can't just make a fucking new league and people go, hey, I'm going to get him behind this.
Well, Danny Garcia, not the one from AW, The Rock's former partner, says she remains optimistic for the future of the league. They have capital commitments in place for years, 1 through 4, with sponsorship deals with national brands, including Progressive and Under Armour. She said, quote, "We are extremely well capitalized for the long term. This is our new WWE, the next massive live property."
I mean, all Dwayne has to do is wrestle at fucking Mania 40 and he's going to pay off like another fucking season, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like, come on, Vince, I want you to pay my XFL bill and I'll come and wrestle. I'll drop to Roman.
He has to do just one more Fast and Furious film and he'll be fine. That's season 3 of the XFL boxed off.
The Rock waking up and realising he has to act with Vin Diesel again. He's like, oh, fuck. Come on.
Speaking of Speaking of wrestlers who are actors, John Cena's in our hometown of Liverpool, isn't he?
He was, yeah. I saw a picture of him.
Filming a buddy cop film with Idris Elba.
With Idris Elba, yeah. It's fucking wild. I saw a picture of him on Dale Street, literally around the corner from your sister's bargee.
Our Andy was in the bar when that happened.
Really?
And said to me that he thought he'd seen John Cena. And then, like 2 minutes later, Faye, you put that picture up on Discord of John Cena on Dale Street. I was like, yeah, probably wasn't, but our Andy was like, "What? Why didn't you go into town to go try and meet him?" I was like, because he fucking hates people going up to him in public. Not seeing that video on YouTube of him telling that guy to fuck off because he's like bothering him while he's getting his shopping. Got between John Cena and his fucking gym day, Jesus.
So after For the Love of Wrestling, I came into work and my mate went, I'm sure I passed Bryan Danielson on the someone that looked Bryan Danielson on the street on Saturday. I was like, he was in Liverpool. It was probably him.
He went for a vegan meal somewhere that we don't know where.
Defo egg.
Next up.
Go on.
I was going to say next up, a bit of Mercedes Moné news. She posted on Instagram, on her Instagram story, indicating that she's had surgery on her ankle.
I hope she's okay.
That's good to know. I'm glad that it went okay.
And I hope whatever match she was going to have at Forbidden Door, she now has at All In.
Well, the rumour was it was her versus Saraya, wasn't it?
Yeah, because there's a lot of it.
A lot of history there.
Mm-hmm. Also, another WWE adjacent news to come out today is apparently, this is according to WrestleVotes on Twitter, Disney are the front runners to pick up the new WWE TV deal.
Yes, apparently they've been in talks the last few days. No new deals been forthcoming from Fox or USA.
So their deals are, I don't know if both are, if it's just SmackDown up in October, is it? Or September?
Sometime this year, sometime in August.
I want to say it's October.
It?
Yeah. Either way, it's around the time they did the draft last year, so late September, early October. And obviously the Fox deal was only for 3 years. That started in 2021, so next year is when it expires. So this is when they're gonna. When I say it's coming up in September, I mean it's coming up to its final year, which is when usually TV companies start negotiating these things. Vince did bring himself back, saying that he would do that to obviously negotiate the TV rights. Also, is this why Vince McMahon dyed his hair black and grew a creepy mustache so he could look more like Walt Disney?
Definitely.
Yeah. Next up, Paul Heyman has said that Roman Reigns is grooming the next tribal chief. If I was Paul Heyman and I was in wrestling, I wouldn't be using those words.
Nope. This is something I spoke to Tom Clark about this week.
You did indeed.
Where I believe it's going to be Solo Sikoa that they're kind of like elevating as the next big star. Because obviously, like they did the whole thing where Roman and Solo like knocked into each other and Roman looked like absolutely shook, while Solo's like, "The fuck you doing?" Solo's great. I think he's definitely going to be one for the future.
He's definitely got all the potential in the world, hasn't he? He can go he can go far.
He's awesome. He's very, very good.
Another bit of AEW news for you. Billy Gunn has said that AEW has tried to get Sean Waltman in a couple of times.
Yeah, why not?
So he said basically in an interview, I think we tried to get Sean here a couple of times. Things just didn't work out. But if the time's right, I think he would be a great asset because he still has huge popularity and everyone knows him. He's a good guy. Not only would he help the younger talent be a good asset for the company, it'd be amazing if we could get him in here. So yeah, he was
awesome in GCW last year.
Yeah, I just want to see X-Pac scissor and Daddy ass just once.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Just one scissor.
It would.
Just one. Another thing that let's go back to New Japan, to things I never thought I'd be saying today. El Desperado needed a partner to face Jon Moxley and Homicide on Independence Day. He went and got June fucking Kasai, didn't he? So there's going to be a lot of bloodshed that day.
Yeah, that's going to be a silly one.
Yeah. This is cool as well, though, because it shows, like, obviously New Japan are working with the companies a bit more than they had been. And it plays into the whole story of El Desperado, like having that death match with Jun Kasai last year, which was in my top 3 of matches of the year. Go check that podcast out. And yeah, it's just insane wrestling today, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, wrestling at the moment.
Well, that's it. It's
just been announced for
the fight
show as well.
Yeah, I saw the poster for that. Looks fucking sick.
Yeah. I saw that while I was trying to find the Jun Kasai news.
Yeah, just a bit more about the WWE television rights. Apparently, Amazon Prime are expected to have talks to them as well.
That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think if we got either of those things, do you think we get them sooner on the streaming service than what they're currently on now if they stop showing it on TV?
I mean, I don't think it'd affect us too much though, because FW have a separate deal, don't they, with BT Sports in the UK?
They do, however, that is due up soon.
And it's just BT Sports just become TNT Sports, or it's about to become TNT Sports.
Yeah,
that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Oh my god!
Yeah, that'll be.
Imagine if WWE was on TNT in the UK, but AEW wasn't. So you could watch the TNT champion, but not on TNT, and you could watch WWE on TNT.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that'll be up soon because it was not long after BT got the Champions League, and that's up next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, let's talk about Forbidden Door, because there was one thing we didn't talk about. A match that is seemingly in the works, seemingly locked in. A dream match, the Battle of the GTSs.
Has there been progress on this? Has this moved along?
Yeah, there's been Fightful put an update up today, saying he said there today they're not going to get AW aren't going to give me the bag, so do Punk versus Naito, do it, I don't care. And then he keeps just tweeting out, give Kenta the bag. Basically
really
meaning money.
Talking about money.
Yeah, Kenta's basically said, "I'll do the match as long as they pay me."
Yeah, I think as we were kind of talking about before, it feels like this year's Forbidden Door they're trying to just like load up with dream matches, because last year's was obviously struck unfortunately with like COVID and other injuries and whatnot, and we lost like quite a few like big marquee matches at Punk and Tanahashi, Danish and Zack Sabre Jr.
Hiroki Takahashi being apparently feverish on the day of the show, which I don't know how you could tell if Takahashi's got a fever and is delirious.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, basically it looks like the working idea is Kenta and Punk. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenta showing up on the debut of Collision and just fucking shattered Punk's orbital bone with his knee.
Just knee Punk anime style, like through the roof.
Yeah. What if
the thing is, if Kenta hits Punk with a GTS, he's gonna fucking break his face.
Yeah.
Kenta doesn't fuck around when he GTS people.
No.
As you shared in that clip on the Discord. I'm just going back to Takahashi being feverish. I think when he's feverish, he just wears normal clothes.
Yes.
That's how everyone knows.
I think he just cancels out and he just starts acting really normal. And it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
He just wears like neutral colours instead of like having big fucking like blow up
eyeballs,
like tentacles coming off him and shit.
It's like a beholder.
Yeah, it's a wild one for sure. Like Takahashi being feverish. One other thing that I would like to just touch on, because I forgot to mention at the start when you asked what wrestling I've been watching. I did watch Dark Side the Ring this week.
Oh yeah,
the new series started. Couldn't recommend it enough. The Chris Candido and Tammy Sitch story is obviously very famous, and just wild. And the Magnum TA one, it's more sad than like a sort of Dark Side the Ring thing, but it just puts a spotlight on Magnum TA. For anyone who doesn't know, Magnum TA was coming up around like in the 80s, around the time Hogan was really getting big. and he was like thought to be kind of like the antidote to Hulkamania for the NWA. He was unfortunately in a car accident and basically lost the ability to walk. So had to retire when he was like literally about to become like the next big thing. But he just comes across a really nice fella, like just the kind of guy you just want to sit and have a beer with. So yeah, do go check that out. Now back to the regularly scheduled news. Let's talk about Roosh. Because him and his dad have just walked out of AAA.
Yeah, apparently Bandita's done with AAA as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, so Roosh and Bestia Del Ring are part of ways of AAA. Roosh said, basically said like if any promoters want to pay to see him in LA Park, they can do. Apparently, Roosh and LA Park were meant to be having a hair versus mask match. I wouldn't be surprised if LA Park tried to politic to get Roosh's hair, and Roosh was just like, "Nah, fuck off."
Yeah. They had a dog in the audience at the last show as well, by the way. Saw it.
They had a dog.
It was just a dog as an audience member, just like at the rail.
Yeah, I saw that. Just dog having a nice time. Yeah, just chilling.
Fucking Mexico, man. It's the best.
Right, do you want a nice one to finish off on?
Let's do a nice one.
So AEW's Sammy Guevara and Tay Mello have revealed the gender of their first child.
They're going to call it Luna.
Yeah, they had actually Sarah was watching just before the podcast on Sammy's vlog. It was all about like the sort of baby shower and stuff, or whatever, the gender reveal. And they went around like all the Jericho Appreciation Society, like asking what they thought it was going to be, boy or girl. And like Jake Hager, I only saw a bit of it, but Jake Hager and Daddy Magic in particular, like really like nice little messages for them about like how they think they'll be really good parents and they can't wait to like see them become a family and all this. Jake Hager, surprisingly eloquent talker for a man who literally can only say 2 words on television.
He likes the hat.
3.
Yeah, championships.
No, 4. I like this hat.
Yeah. Daddy Magic in particular, he had like his kids there, like with him when he was recording the thing. And it was a really like heartfelt thing. And then they had like a big load of like fireworks go off and like some load of pink smoke. And so yeah, they're having a girl. And Ty was really really happy because she was convinced she was going to have a boy, but she always wanted a daughter. So yeah, there we go.
Kind of a cool uncle, cool hand Ange.
Cool uncle, yeah. You'll give that kid its first flick comb at the age of 3.
He's gonna just like comb the hair for them all the time.
One thing that really came across in that video, and one thing I've never actually considered, was how actually like well everyone from the JS seems to get on like each other.
Yeah, well, I suppose most of them.
I think his vlogs, aren't they now as well? Sammy's vlog.
Yeah,
I suppose most of them as well. Like, I mean, Hager, Sammy, and Jericho have basically been around each other for the last like 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
Since the first episode of Dynamite, certainly. And they've been basically inseparable. So they probably have got quite a good bond. And then obviously Jericho's got the whole Canadian thing with a 2.0.
It's mad that like Sammy and Ty have to like have a baby to turn Sammy face, isn't it?
It's all access man has turned Sammy face.
I mean, I don't watch All Access. I just think that fucking performance he put in at Double or Nothing turned him face for me.
Yeah, to be fair,
because he was the star of that match as far as I was concerned.
Yeah,
he's fucking incredible.
He's got to rein it in now. He's going to be a dad.
Yeah. A little bit of breaking news.
We'll go on. We'll finish on a bit of breaking news.
Oh no, it's not breaking news. Actually, it happened a few weeks ago. It just came up on my Twitter feed. Miro is scheduled to.
Oh, to be a collision. I was going to say, if this is breaking news that Iron Sheik passed away, then you're a bit late on that one, mate.
Well, we didn't even mention Sheiky Baby.
No, yeah, a bit of sad news to finish on. Then, as people are no doubt aware, last week, Iron Sheik sadly passed away, age of 81.
Yeah, fuck the Hulk Hogan.
He's making everyone upstairs humble now, putting them in the camel clutch.
He's fucking great. I love Sheiky Baby. He does a really good interview with Colt Cabana on his podcast, which you should definitely go listen to if you haven't. Where Colt Cabana tries to get him to call him a motherfucker, and he's like, "No, I will not call you a motherfucker, Colt Cabana. You are a good man." And he outright refuses to like say anything bad to Colt Cabana.
Yeah, he was one of the good ones. Sheik. He was.
He's fucking great.
He was phenomenal. Right, on that note then, I think we'll leave it there. We'll be back next week. We're going to talk about, we've got some TNT the weekend. We've got Collision on Saturday.
Fucking missing as well.
We've got Collision making its debut. Jordan Oliver's over for that one in TNT. We've got Collision on Saturday. We're talking all about that. First episode, CMFTR, Faux Life.
The build-up for Infamous as well.
Yes, Infamous is rolling around. God, there's so much wrestling, isn't there? I'm just fucking exhausted. I'm so tired. And hopefully the weather will be like, just gonna get hotter, isn't it? I'm lying here. It's just gonna get fucking hotter.
I just want it to be like a little bit cooler.
Yeah, like 20 degrees is enough. Like we don't need 26. Like that's just
even just less humid.
Yeah.
If
it's dry heat, I don't mind it.
Well, you could say
it's humid like it is.
It looks like AEW is not the only place that's looking to get some thunder in the near future, if you know what I mean.
Hey.
A little bit of backstage heat.
there's fucking Xbox heat on the street out there, mate. It's fucking ridiculous. Right, on that note, we'll leave it with you. We'll be back next week to talk about all of the wrestling as per usual. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello, yes, Danhausen here. Danhausen has been summoned. You must love this podcast housing, the Untitled Wrestling Podcast housing.